Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. Here's my baby here, Dakota. He's 1 year old. He was born on December 4th, 2020, Dakota. So he's a miniature husky. He's my buddy. And, okay, let me get right into this. So, yesterday I loaded up a video last night. Jocko Willink, ex-Navy SEAL, very moving video supporting Joe Rogan. And actually, I lost a couple of subscribers. It's really no big deal. I have a very tiny channel. But it is interesting where you think the, court of public opinion, like, I guess, everyone really, I listen, it's split in half, the people who support Joe and whatever. But as far as I go, I'm on the left. I'm a progressive liberal. I'm actually really a centrist, center left. So kind of Joe Rogan's politics, the way Joe used to be. There's no question about it. Joe has changed, and that's a little upsetting. Still has the greatest show in the world, but there's no question about it. He's changed a little bit. So this is the reason for my cat's right here too. For this little video, this is from the David Pakman show, and the caller it really says the same thing. Like the show, Joe's a little bit different, and they also bring up Aaron Rodgers too. And I'm gonna play this, and then I'll talk for a second. David Pakman. David Pakman's the best, by the way. Here we go.
Next to let's go to our old friend Issa from London.
Hold on, the lighting down here is absolutely horrendous. But let me just turn down. Let me do this. I'll turn down the light here so there's not so much of a glare. Here we are. Okay, here we go.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. And what's going on? All COVID guidelines are being ended there. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they scrapped everything. But I don't know if you keep up with UK politics much. There's much bigger issues with our government. So right now, a whole lot going on.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, are you referring to the Boris Johnson COVID party stuff, or what specifically?
Yeah. There's new things from the past that get brought up every day. But today's topic, I guess, is Johnson.
Yep.
They'll get right into it now.
But
go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry. I was gonna say this. A thought I was having. Aaron Rodgers said his stuff about people running against Green Bay because of his vaccine status.
Yes.
I feel like what happened to Rodgers is the same thing that happened to Rogan.
Yep.
But Rogan happened on a much larger scale. And what I mean is, he came out and he said all his stuff right about vaccines and how he wouldn't take them and how he encourages young people not to get them.
Yep.
And then he caught COVID. And everyone clowned him for that so badly that it kind of led him to snap. If you understand where I'm coming from, it basically tipped him over the edge.
Let me just pause for 1 second.
Then,
By the way, Joe had COVID for 3 days and he beat it. So you got to give him credit for that. Let me just continue.
His whole persona, his personality has been COVID, vaccines, leftists, woke mob, cancel culture, mainstream media, CNN, and even the guests he brings on his shows, they're just terrible people that he can circle jerk with about how right he is to reaffirm himself.
That's exactly right.
So
it's very upsetting because I'm a huge Joe Rogan fan.
About that.
Well, I ended up saying, when I talked about Aaron Rodgers, the NFL football player, saying people were rooting against us because of my vaccine status, I said that's true to some degree. I gave it more thought. I think that there's actually more to it. I think some people were rooting against Aaron Rodgers because the entire COVID thing made him look like a know-it-all prick.
Exactly.
And that's what a lot of people were kind of reacting to, more so than the fact that he's unvaccinated per se.
Yeah.
Everything's politicized.
In terms of the Rogan stuff, I mean,
all right, here we go.
I know the guy a little bit.
It's been on twice.
I believe him when he says he's not trying to spread disinformation. He believes the stuff that the guests say. Mm-hmm. I do believe that. I don't think he's trying to spread disinformation. I just think he is. And I think part of it is we know that since he's moved to Texas, at least
this is so true. Listen,
he hangs out with the wacky Republican governor Greg Abbott. You know, he's in a circle where I think what's going on around him is very reactionary and radical.
Exactly.
And even without bad intentions, I think he's just been captured by a lot of this
That's
stuff.
exactly
I'm not excusing anything he's done. I think the stuff that's gone out on his show is terrible. Yep. But I believe him when he says he's not malicious in trying to spread disinformation. I think it's coming from a place of ignorance.
Yeah. All right, I'll stop it there. I'll put the whole thing in the comments section. There's only like a minute left. So yeah, it really is upsetting as far as Joe. He's still a great guy, still the greatest show in the world, no question about it. I never miss it. I haven't missed a single minute of Joe Rogan in like 6 years. I've probably watched 90% of them, all the way going back to 2009, all 1700, even the MMA stuff. There's no question about it. It's the greatest show ever. When I first discovered Joe, like I go all the way back to 2009, but especially when he hit his stride, like 2010, 11, 12. And I was like, this is the nicest guy in the world. I was like, he is such an unusual person, just such a good heart, so kind. And he was talking to my wife. I'm like, isn't this the greatest guy in the world? He's such a kind guy. And then I think ever since Trump got in, or he just sort of changed. And it's you know, what David Pakman said, he's kind of captured by these Republicans. That Abbott guy from Texas is a fucking dick. So, I mean, Joe's not a child. You know, what are you going to say? He's impressionable. He's surrounded by people who are giving him bullshit, toxic right-wing information. I don't know. I mean, he's still a good guy. And another thing, I've listened to, like I said, I probably listen to more Joe Rogan than perhaps anybody, you know. Still, I maintain he's an amazing guy, you know, big heart, really, all those things. But he does have a dark side. He does, there's an ugliness to him. And I noticed that over the last couple of years, especially when he goes after Joe Biden. It's fucking way below the belt. You know, like laughing at him, shitting his pants, and that he's got dementia. It's definitely mean and cruel and over the top. And there's some other things, and it's kind of gross, you know. And then he never goes after Trump. That's another thing. Like, what the fuck, you know? So, okay, that's all. You know, so as far as, you know, me, I'm a progressive, lefty, liberal. I'm assuming a few people on the left unsubscribed me. It's like no big deal. I just do this for fun, and I have a tiny, tiny channel, you know, 700 subscribers, something like that. So, and who cares what I think? But basically, where I'm coming from, progressive left, really more of a centrist. But I'm not going to do a whole video on my position. Okay. All right. Terrible lighting. Sorry about that. When the weather gets nice, I'll be back outside on the porch. Okay. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here in Tabor Talk.